Hi there, I'm Jason, and you're watching
Jason learn.
What is the sum when -8 is added to -9? Is it A, 1, B, -1, C, 17, or letter D, -17? What is your answer? The correct answer is letter D, -17. Second question. What is the sum when -8 is added to 9? Is it A, 1, B, -1, C, 17, or letter D, -17? What is your answer? The correct answer is letter A, 1. Now, in order for you to answer these two questions correctly, you must be familiar with the concept of the set of integers. Now, let's recall that when we talk about integers, so these are just simply the whole numbers, including its negatives, or this is just the positive and the negative whole numbers. So, example, we have infinity, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, these are the numbers that are included in the set of integers. So nga nila, katurang mga positive o mga negative na mga whole numbers. Way labot ang fraction, way labot ang decimal, again, katurang mga whole numbers. Now, let's tackle about the first operation of the set of integers, which is addition. So let's be familiar with the different rules in adding the same signs and different signs nga integers. So first, addition of integers. When adding two integers with the same signs, take note of the word the same signs. Add them directly and affix their common sign. So ang buhaton, if ang integers kay parehas silang signs, we are just going to add them directly and kapihan na natag ilang common sign. Example, 4 plus 5. So it's +4 plus +5, that's +9. So i-add na nato sila dritso. How about this? 8 plus 9, that's 17 because both are positive. So ato lang siyang i-add dritso. How about this? -6 plus -7. The answer is -13. So we just simply add them directly and affix their common sign, which is negative. This one. -20 plus -15, that's -35 because both of the addends are negative. Now, when adding two integers with different signs, take note again of the word different signs. So get their absolute values first, subtract the lesser from the greater absolute value, and then affix the sign of the integer with greater absolute value. Let's give some examples for you to understand this rule deeply. So we have here 4 plus -5. So the first thing that we need to do is to get their absolute values first. So what's the absolute value of 4? It's 4. What's the absolute value of -5? It's just +5. And then we're going to subtract the lesser from the greater absolute value. So asa may dako, 4 or 5? So definitely it's 5, right? So i-subtract na to ang lesser ng absolute value sa dako ng absolute value. So 5 minus 4 equals 1. Is this our final answer? Not yet. Why? We still need to affix the sign of the integer with greater absolute value. So initially, asa man nilang duha, ang integer nga na ay greater absolute value. Is it the 4 or the -5? It's the -5. And its sign is negative. So therefore, this side will also become the sign of our answer or our difference. So therefore, 4 plus -5 equals -1. Okay? Let's have another example for you to understand this concept better. 6 plus -9. So again, we are going to get their absolute values first. So what is the absolute value of 6? So the absolute value of 6 is just 6, +6. The absolute value of -9 is just +9. And then we are going to subtract the lesser absolute value from the greater absolute value. So 9 minus 6, that's 3. And then what is the sign of the number with greater absolute value? So it's negative, right? So therefore, our answer will become negative 3. So therefore, 6 plus negative 9 equals negative 3. Okay? So inga na siya kasadyon. So all you just have to do is to, again, first, get their absolute values if you are adding two integers with different signs. Kung lahi ning mga signs sila ani nawa, ang isa is positive and the other one is negative, or vice versa. As long as the signs are different, then you have to follow this rule. Okay? Now, let's have this third example. Negative 10 plus 15. So get their absolute values first. So what is the absolute value of negative 10? It's positive 10. And what's the absolute value of positive 15? It's positive 15. So recall your knowledge about absolute value. I've already uploaded a video about finding the absolute value of a number. Now we are going to subtract the lesser from the greater absolute value. So we have 15 minus 10 equals 5. Now, what is the sign of the number with greater absolute value initially? So, sa may dako nila, ng absolute value, 15, right? Diyan is 10 man. So, 15 is greater than 10. And what is the sign of the original integer? So, 15, it's positive. So, therefore, magpabilin na gyapon siyang positive. So, therefore, 15 minus 10, it's 5. Or negative 10 plus 15, that is just equal to positive 5. So, positive 5 lang gihapon because initially, the number with greater absolute value is a positive integer. Now, let's have this fourth example and our last example. Negative 25 plus 32. So, get their absolute values first. So, absolute value of 25, it's negative 25, it's 25. And the absolute value of 32, positive 32, is just 32. So, 32, subtract the greater absolute value by the lesser absolute value. So 32 minus 25, that's 7. And what is the sign of the number or the integer with greater absolute value? So it's positive. Kaya mamanida ko kaysa ani. So it's positive. So therefore, our answer will also become positive lang gihapon. So therefore, negative 25 plus 32 is equal to positive 7. So that's just it. That's just how you add two integers with different signs. Now let's have this exercises. So let's have some drills. So let's add the following integers. So 5 plus 7, it's 12. How about this? 11 plus negative 18. What is your answer? It's negative 7. How about this? Negative 33 plus negative 66. What is your answer? It's negative 99. So, diba, both of them have the same signs. How about this one? Negative 25 plus 50 equals, it's positive 25. Now, how about this? Negative 46 plus 46. The answer is, alright, it's 0. Now, take note of this when you are adding numbers, technically the same numbers but different signs. So this is negative 46 and this is positive 46. When you add them, the answer is always 0. Alright? Now let's sum it up. When adding integers, two integers with the same signs, so add them directly and then copy the common sign. But when you are adding two integers with different signs, so you have to follow these 3 steps. So first, get their absolute values. Second, subtract the lesser from the greater absolute value. And then third, copy the sign of the integer with greater absolute value. Now, I hope that this video helps for you to understand deeply the concept of addition of integers. That's all for now. Thank you, more power, and let's keep learning.